Everyone, yes, my name's Anne Bach. The course that I'm going to do is called 30-Day Challenge, Create Your Own PB. And the very first time I ever did this, the lovely Jen Hines, who's our regional coordinator up in the north, she introduced it. She went, 30-Day Challenge, create your own personal breast. Now that is not what we're here for today. If that's what you're here for, that's a totally different foresight. But no, PBs and personal best, as I say, my background's within sport, and I've always been fascinated by it. So I've played for Scotland in volleyball. I was a PE teacher in a past life as well. I work with athletes, etc. now. But sport and sports people and athletes absolutely fascinate me because they've got to do something to get to world level. They've got to be performing physically and thinking mentally up to world level. And the interesting about PBs is they have these personal bests. So if you think of them within sport, there can be, for example, a 100-metre runner. They won't just have one personal best. They'll actually have them in a whole load of different ways. So they might have it in competition, they'll have it in practice, they'll have it in practice within rain, they'll have it at altitude, etc., etc. So we have PBs, and we all have PBs as well. We're all sitting here today. We have our own personal bests. So I'm going to ask you, if you will, just to take 10, 20 seconds to just reflect, because your personal best could be in an area of your life, it could be in business, it could be within your relationship, it could be within whatever it is, but think of something that you're already fantastic at, because you're already fantastic. Just 10, 20 seconds. Definitely a good group, because sometimes I get people going, I don't know. But you guys were all like, yep, I've got it. And that's it. It's so important to know what we're good at, our strengths and our weaknesses, because our personal bests are things that we're already very, very good at. But what else could we be really good at? So our strengths are important. What are we good at? Our weaknesses. My philosophy on this is get really good at your strengths and just neutralise your weaknesses. But that's a whole different foresight. But what I wanted to talk today about is how we can create these personal bests according to our strengths. And a lovely bit, Soccer AM, again, I don't just play sport, I love to watch it as well. They coined this phrase called bounce back ability. You might have heard of it. So it was this idea that no matter even if we're knocked down, we're able to come back from it, we're able to bounce back from it. And the champions in our world have done that. Not one champion has got to the top of their tree, to their world level, without losing for a start, without injury, without something personal happening. And the trick and the real power for them is that they've overcome that. They've come back from that. They've used whatever it is that has knocked them down, and they've got back literally on track, or they've got back on the field. And we do exactly the same. Our greatest growth, and we've heard it already today, but our greatest growth comes from just after our times of biggest hardships or greatest knocks. And if you even think things like the war, we've had radar come from that, we've had computer, we've had penicillin. Our greatest movements forward come from our massive, massive downfalls. And I call these life-changing events or life-altering events. And we've already heard of some in this room, and it's true, we come back from these. And I had one myself a couple of years back. My marriage broke down, and at that time, life was pretty rubbish. And I'm not even being flippant, it wasn't great at all. And anybody that has gone through any kind of life-changing event knows that at that time, you're kind of holding on with your fingernails at that point, and you're just kind of holding on for grim death at that little bit. So I made myself 2 promises. I knew that I needed to keep going, and I needed to keep the business going, etc., etc. So the 2 promises, I made sure that I get out of the house every single day and go and get a hug every single day. And it sounds so simplistic, but it's this human nature thing. It's this reconnecting. It's this making sure that you're still got a place in the world. So it could be some days I would get to 6 o'clock and I'm like, crap, I still need my hug. And I wouldn't quite go walking the streets for them, but you know, it had got to that stage where you just know that you need to go and get it, because that was the promise I'd made to myself. And when you make yourself a promise, you have to stick to it, because that's what keeps you true. That's what keeps the integrity. As time goes on and as you become stronger and more robust, these routines, that's what I was calling them, my routines got more complex, and there was more things in it and more refined. But it's these routines that we do day in, day out is what's going to create us tomorrow, in a week's time, in a month's time, 6 months' time, in a year's time. So what do you do today? What do you do consistently? What do you do day in, day out that is going to create the person that you're going to be in a month, in 6 months, in a year's time? And it's this habit forming. There's this lovely story that helps explain how the brain works. NASA were sending astronauts out into space, out to the space station. They were going to be out there for quite a while. So they needed to see how they were going to be able to handle anxiety and stress and things like that. So what they asked them to do was put on these goggles, inverse goggles. So what, totally surrounded, so what was going to happen was the astronauts' perception of the world was going to flip 180 degrees. So they were going to imagine the chairs were going to be on the ceiling, the ceiling was on the floor, etc., etc. Now, human beings, we want to be in a stable state, and our brain allows us to do this by rings within our ears that keeps us nice and balanced. So when you flip the world upside down, obviously your stability goes, you start to get anxious, they were feeling nauseous. So they were really, really disrupted. And after about 21 days, something really interesting started to happen, because the first astronaut started reporting that his perception of the world had righted itself. So he was seeing things as he usually saw. And over the next 9 days or so, up to about 30 days, the rest of the astronauts started reporting this same phenomenon. And NASA looked at this and went, right, okay, we need to have a little bit more of a look at this. So they picked two groups, the group that was going to keep the goggles on the whole time, and the second group that was going to take the goggles off after 15 days. So first group, same idea, 21 days happened, first lot started reporting that the world had righted itself. And the second group, interestingly enough, so took the goggles off for 24 hours at 15 days, put the goggles back on then, and it took them a further 21 days to start to report that the world had righted for them. Now, again, I'm a little bit of a geek, and I love everything to do with the brain, etc., etc. So what's happening at this point is all to do with our neural pathways. So our neural pathways are basically looking at, that sorts everything that we do, we think, we behave, all our actions. So if you think of a little baby first learning to feed itself, spoon might go in the food, but it's most likely to go in the ear or through the hair or over you or wherever it is. So it's not until the spoon goes into the mouth and they go, okay, I'm getting a reward here, that it starts to repeat that action, and at that point that neural pathway starts to become more solid and firm, until eventually we can all feed ourselves with our eyes shut, no matter what state you're in. So if you think of the similar idea with motorways, what was happening for these astronauts was this motorway was basically the usual perception of the world. But what the brain had done really, really cleverly was bypass it, because it went, this doesn't work for me, this isn't right. I'm going to create a B road that's going to take me to my desired stable situation. So it was creating new neural pathways in order for it to feel stable. How awesome is this? Because this literally lets us see that you can teach old dogs new tricks, which is so exciting. Is anybody else just even a tad excited about this? Because it means that we can actually create new behaviours and change habits no matter what stage we're at. this is pretty cool. And that's where it comes from, you know, you can change a habit within about 30 days. This is how it's happening because we're creating these new neural pathways. So as these routines have been built up, let's have I'm going to just do a little, one of the things that I did bring in was my 5-minute plank. So anybody that's done any kind of plank in the past, 5 minutes, there's only about 2% of the population can do a 5-minute plank. So at this point, when I do this in my morning routine every single day, I get up from it giving it, you know, it's a pretty good feeling. So not only physically am I ready for the day, but mentally, I've already proved that I can do something that not that many other people in the country can do. And if I can do that, I can do flipping anything else. I can do whatever I want. So what routines have you got in place that make you feel good, that get you fired up, that keep you on track, that get you ready? Because if we've got the right ones in place, it's going to get us ready to take over the world, do whatever else it is that we need to do. So here's my question for you and my challenge for you. What one thing, what one behaviour, what one thought, what one change could you make today that if you did it consistently every single day for 30 days, in 30 days' time would make the biggest difference to you? So it could be within your health, it could be within your fitness world, it could be within your relationship world, it could be within your business world. Whatever it is, have a think about it, and if you've got paper in front of you, I would urge you to write it down, because we have this lovely Americanism, Michael, ink it, don't think it. It's the only one I do actually agree with. But it's this idea that the brain, you're double checking this, the brain is kind of putting extra work into this. So ink it, don't think it. What one change, if you made that change today, would make all the difference when you're sitting on the hilltop 30 days from now looking back? So have a think. If you've got it, a pen, write it down. And if you are willing to share, I know there has been changes in the past. We had one of our 4N members, he took his TV out of his bedroom, and before anybody thinks what you might be thinking, the change that happened was he wasn't as grumpy with the kids in the morning, and he had more energy in the morning. And so one little change can have such an effect on every other part of your life. So has anybody got one change that they're willing to share?
Yeah, just go jogging.
Love it.
Morning.
And for how long?
For a month.
Yeah, for how long time-wise?
Oh, 25, 30 minutes.
Okay, exactly, 25 or 30?
25.
25 is brilliant, that's fine. 15 minutes even would make such a big difference. So you're going to commit to 25 minutes every single day for the next 30 days?
With Sunday off.
Remember we said that day off starts to take you back to zero again. So bring it to 15. We can all find 15 minutes. Yeah? You happy with that?
Yeah.
You committing to that?
Yeah, I can
Loving it.
I can do 20.
20. Love that. Thank you. Wonderful. One more.
I've got 3 books on the go at the moment.
Okay.
That I've started reading, but I don't have time. I'm going to read one chapter of them every day.
Fantastic. One chapter. How long are the chapters roughly?
I don't know, about 15 pages, I think.
Brilliant. Yeah, even 10 pages. 10 pages a day, fantastic. You've probably done an extra book a month, 12 extra books a year. Whew, amazing. Love it.
3,000 words a week writing.
Love it. So are you going to do it all in one fell swoop, or are you going to break it up?
Break it up.
Okay, each day.
Can I do that, or have I got to bring that down?
No. So if you're doing that, so that's over 7 days, so you're looking at just over about 400 a day.
Right,
There you go, there's the maths. Yeah.
Wow. You can do a 5-minute plan. You can do math on the fly.
At the same time.
Right.
Right.
No trouble finding a second book, then, don't worry. You can edit that.
Yes, this is not dating show. So that's what you're committing to do. Love it. And how's that going to make a difference in 30 days?
Because the book will be done within 6 weeks.
Oh my God, what a difference that would make. So there's your challenge. Good luck with it. If you're going to report back, keep in touch with different folk or keep in touch with me. And I cannot wait to hear how you've done in 30 days' time.
Smile, be chat, join for networking.